What's up, guys? This is the Vinyl Casket. My name is Nick. This is the home to the lamest taste on the internet. Do me a huge favor and check out my YouTube channel at the Vinyl Casket, where you can subscribe, like, and comment, and hit that bell for a ton of cool, super lame, nerdy content. I do trailer reactions, TV and movie show reviews, TV and movie show, TV show and movie reviews, manga reviews, album reviews. What else do we do over there? We do this video, which is my weekly comic book reviews. Everything I picked up and read this week. The whole slogan of this video is that we get it, we read them, we bag and board them, we take the pictures for the gram, and then we review them with you guys. And then every Tuesday, you can check out Manny Reads Comics on YouTube for our weekly roundup, where me, Manny, and Carlos talk about our top 3 picks of the week, our disappointing moments of the week, and our favorite cover of the week. We also have a year-long bracket that's going on month to month, determining what was our favorite issue of the entire year. You can also check out my Twitch at Vinyl Casket, where I stream occasionally, not as much as I would like, but last couple weeks I fell off, but I will be back on. I've just been doing projects on the weekends and working a lot more. Yeah, so check out my YouTube, check out my Twitch, check out my Instagrams at Vinyl Casket and Vinyl Casket Comics. I promise Vinyl Caskets has a bunch of stuff that I will be uploading soon. And then let's just get into it. Thank you guys so much, and we're gonna do Indies, Marvel, DC, but we're gonna start off the Indies with 2 books that came out last week that I should have gotten, that my shop was shorted. One that I got this week from them, and one that I had to get in the city at Midtown Comics by Times Square. Today I was able to get it and read it on the way home on the train. They're both Boom Studios. We're gonna start with issue 3 of Alice Ever After. This issue was my favorite so far, I think. The first one was really interesting. The second one was kind of wonky, and for some reason, I just had a hard time following what was going on. I enjoyed it. I thought the artwork was good, but there was just maybe too much dialogue or something. This issue, I thought the dialogue was pretty middle of the road. It wasn't too much. It wasn't too little. It wasn't the perfect amount, because I would have liked a little bit less. But I think being a little heavy, but the dialogue being meaningful and the artwork being fantastic kind of balanced itself out. I liked the progression of the story. I liked the ramifications and the plot progression. I thought this was a really solid issue. I'm so sad that it came out last week and I read it this week, because it would have made my top 3 this week and probably last week. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10. Fantastic issue. We're going to move on to Angel issue 6, which came out last week. I just got today. I was talking to the guy at my shop that read it online. He also wasn't able to get it. But this issue, he said, was bad. You know, the series is going in whatever direction. I thoroughly enjoyed this issue. Everything that he said was going to be bad, I read it, and I liked those exact things that he warned me about, and I was like, wow, like I didn't perceive that in that direction at all. Basically, new story arc. There's a ton of characters in this book. So we start off with a VR thing with Oz being a werewolf or whatever he is now. That's probably going to lead into the next issue, because we don't see that the rest of the issue. We get to see alternate realities, Angelus and Spike, that are going to create problems with both of those characters. I'm really enjoying it. I really am. I like the directions that everything's going. I like how all these characters have their own little things going on, but they're kind of all tied together. Really interesting story. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Now we're moving on to something that came out this week. We have, holy crap, what issue is this? Oh no. It's when I get these variant covers with no writing on the covers, I get screwed. It's issue, where is it? 24. Okay. Issue 24, Something's Killing the Children. This is the die cut bloody variant. So this is a series of variants I've been doing since they came back with issue 21, I believe. Or 22? Was it 22 they came back? I think it's 22. Um, since issues like 22 or 21, they came back and they were doing full face variants, and the same face with blood covered, and then doing these die cuts. So the masks that they all wear in the series cover the face, but it's a separate piece of cover. So it folds open. So the back there's an additional back cover, two back covers, right? And then this is stapled on, so it flips open, revealing his full face covered in blood. I thought that was really cool. There is blood on the die cut itself. So on the original die cuts that have no blood, there's no blood here, and no blood here, and no blood underneath. This has blood everywhere. I've been collecting this series of covers. This issue was awesome. But nothing crucial happens. We get to see another is it a changeling? Or it's the same changeling, but we don't know where that is. Um it progressed the story a little bit. I liked it. It was a solid issue. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. We're gonna move on to Boom Studio. No, it's still Image. Two more images. Three more images. Radiant Red issue. What is this? 3 or 4? 4. 4 or 5. So there's one more. So the heist comes here. We get a big emotional like relationship struggle between the main character and her fiance. Um, the reporter from the last issue comes in. I didn't expect their shit's gonna go in that direction. And yeah, I really liked the whole heist scene and everything there. And at the end, I was like, come on. Solid issue. Series has been kind of mid, I would say. Kind of annoying. Artwork is very strange, but I enjoyed it in this issue actually a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a. I'm gonna go 7. I don't want to go too high, but 7 out of 10. Uh, issue 11 of Noctera. I liked how they got themselves out of this situation. I kind of understand the sacrifice at the end, and I see where that's kind of gonna go. Kind of emotional, but like I didn't feel like there was any weight to the emotion that they were spouting out. Like I understood why it was emotional, but I don't think it conveyed what it was trying to. Like you saw what it was trying to, but you didn't there was no weight to it. So like you saw it, you read it, you understood what it was supposed to make you feel, but it didn't actually make you feel that way. It just made you see that emotion, but not feel the emotion. It was okay. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. That series is kind of all over the place for me. I wish Noctera was better. I think that the hiatus it went on kind of took out a lot of the excitement I had for it. And then it just lost this kind of the story, the plot just kind of lost its like impactfulness because now there's this big crew and the world seems a little bit bigger. But when the world felt so big, but your characters felt so small, now like they don't. I don't know. It's weird. Issue 2 of I Hate This Place, I was thankfully able to get today. My shop did not get it. They were shorted this. Awesome issue. Awesome series. Definitely check it out if you're into weird, like sci-fi horror, with a modern twist. Artwork is pretty good. Story is really good. Writing's good. Dialogue's solid. Very gruesome. Some of these scenes are very gruesome. I like it. I like it. I like the zombie ghosts and the whole explanation behind everything. 8 out of 10. Awesome issue. Very happy I was able to read it today. And then two more image. Holy crap! A lot of image. We did Boom and we went into Image. Okay. Helicopter issue 8. I thought that this second arc was kind of staggering downwards, kind of falling on itself. This issue, I really liked it. The last two issues I thought were a little bit too dialogue heavy or were moving in a weird pacing, and I didn't really know what was going on, and I was very confused after each issue. Artwork here was awesome. Story pacing was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I connected with the characters and what was going on, especially at the end. I really liked how they ended that segment, and I like the lead in that they're doing with how like John Lennon is making music in the afterlife and like performing it, and then this guy somehow is singing his songs like through this demon that's helping him making money off of it. I like that side story that's going to build into a bigger story. So I'm kind of glad that they're like, okay, this isn't ongoing. It's not just a one story arc, two story arc. Here's the first story arc, which was awesome. It establishes our main character Virgil as being the head Hell Cop. And now we get to see some other Hell Cops while setting up side stories that are going to lead into stuff. So we had like the main story and the side story. Awesome. I'm going to give this a 7.5, leaning towards that 8 area out of 10. Then issue, what is this now? Where is it? 6. Issue 5. Issue 5 of Rogue Sun. This is part of the Radiant universe. We talked about Radiant Red. This is Rogue Sun. It's set in the same universe. Artwork here, awesome. Story, I really enjoyed how they explained his mother having powers, and the backstory and flashbacks they used to like explain her rage and her emotion and what drove her to kill his father. Like straight up, like we've been trying to figure out who killed his father, and that led to him leaving the suit with his son, whatever. Well, apparently his dad, who was Rogue Sun, Dylan's dad, came, and I think his name is Marcus, and was trying to force the mother to let him back into the child's life and whatever, him being like 16 or 17 in high school, let me back in life, whatever. She feared to have him back in his life and went and got these weird powers and was able to kill Rogue Sun. And then her son becomes Rogue Sun. That's crazy. Then she finds out that Marcus is still alive in the suit, in the stone, in his head, and she's freaking out that he's able to talk to his father, because that's what she didn't want. I thought that was perfectly motivated. I enjoyed that. I thought that was a really solid plot line, and I'm excited to see where that goes, especially because she beats the heck out of that Demonica or whatever her name is. Beats the heck out of her. Awesome issue. 8 out of 10. Easy. We move on to Marvel with the variant cover. Did I have any variants? No, I'm good. Okay. Variant cover for issue 12 of Moon Knight with Tiger on there. We get a little bit of Tiger in this issue. This is really cool. With all like the zombie fists of Khonshu and Mark Spector's other personalities coming out at the end, and I liked it. I thought it was interesting. It was cool. Nothing crazy, but like Moon Knight just a standardly good issue. It was fun. It was good dialogue, good pacing, solid artwork. Nothing to complain about. I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10 without even doing anything crazy. Normally I give them 9s. Then we got issue 39 of Miles Morales Spider-Man. This was awesome. We're in this alternate universe where Miles lost to his evil clones, and the evil clones took over Brooklyn, setting up some energy field and basically having a dictatorship, and used Peter to force him to help him stay young forever. And then we find out where Miles' uncle's been at the end of this, and really, really interesting. And I did enjoy it. I enjoyed these fight scenes. I enjoyed the dialogue and how like important they make this feel to me. I thought it was awesome. This is an 8.5 out of 10. So happy I hopped on this on the Marvel Unlimited app and was able to get this. Woo! If you don't understand, Marvel Unlimited is their subscription service where you're able to read comic books online. They have tons and tons of series going all the way back in their catalog. And I was able to use that to catch up to this series, buy a couple back issues, and now I'm completely caught up. We also have issue 4 of The Amazing Spider-Man. This is Peter Parker's book, and this was awesome. Tombstone is a top tier villain, I feel like, in the Spidey universe, and it's sick. You think he's going gruesome and he's going this way, and then he changes his mind and completely twists reality to win, no matter what. He provokes Spider-Man to do what he didn't want to get caught doing. And that's awesome. I thought that was so cool. We see Peter really get his crap beaten out of him. And we've seen that recently a lot, but then like he just keeps going. But here, like, you saw him struggle. You saw him not be able to go. You saw someone had to step in and help him and like trick these people so he had a chance. Awesome, awesome book. This is a 8.5. Solid issue. Artwork's a little all over the place, but solid story. Now we move on to DC with issue 783 of The Flash. This is a cardstock cover. This is a Dark Crisis tie-in. This is the search for Barry Allen. So all the Flash family members except for Impulse, who's busy in this book, and the Flash, I always forget her name, that was lost in the Death of Justice League. That was part of Justice Incarnate. So those two Flash members aren't involved in this book, but every other Flash fam, from Wallace, Max Mercury, what's it called? Who's the guy with the freaking saucer on his head? Jay Garrick, Jesse Quick, and Wally's two kids, all get to do their thing here. Mr. Miracle, Mr. Terrific, figures out that Wally's wife has had powers, talks to her about it, and they go into this thing looking for Barry. Really sick. I really like that. I'm excited to see where this series is gonna go. Sick. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Following that up with another Dark Crisis tie-in, Dark Crisis Young Justice issue 1, cardstock cover. This is really cool because we've been seeing, Impulse show up, throughout the Flash books, this, there, and that, and then not really do anything. And then we saw Superboy, this version of Superboy, show up in a couple books in like the Batman Urban Legends Tim Drake stories, and showed up a little bit in what's it called, Suicide Squad, where we found out that wasn't Superboy, it was Match. And then Tim Drake, who's been like in and out of Bat books and having specials. So we got to see these characters that just have been on the sidelines, especially ever since Death Metal happened. Since their Wonder Comics Young Justice series got canceled, they've just been floating around, right? Cassie's in this too. And it's really cool to see what's going on here. They get set back in time to like a situation where they have to deal with stuff, and it's really cool because they already know what's going on, but it's also slightly different. And then Cassie's running around like everyone disappeared. What's going on? Blah blah blah. Awesome issue, awesome series. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. It was pretty solid. We move on to issue 44 of Catwoman with this awesome. This is Jenny Friesen. I love her. I love this work. I love her work. It's awesome. Amazing cover. An amazing story. This is the end of the Harley Quinn story era where they were what's it called? They were at the roller derby and she was getting hunted down by Red Claw, and then they find out that there's just this creepy dude that's not been hired by anyone, that's just been hunting them, trying to hurt women. And then you kind of see all three of these characters that are all primarily in the past villains kind of come together and do their thing to take down Black Mask. I like it. I love it. It's awesome. Really, really good series so far. This is Teeny Howard. Yes. I love it. I was very happy when she hopped on a couple issues ago. I think it was like 5 issues ago. I've been loving these covers and loving this story. Keep it up. This is an 8 out of 10, easy. We have two more issues. We got issue 4 of Batman Superman World's Finest. This is written by what's his name? Art by Dan Mora, Mark Waid. So art is by Dan Mora, and the story is by Mark Waid, famous for writing The Flash and Daredevil, making Wally the character that he is, making Impulse the character that he is. So this was an interesting issue. Awesome artwork, awesome issue, fun story. I'm loving everything going on with the Doom Patrol and Supergirl and Robin, Dick Grayson, Batman, Superman, and then this demon who's possessed Hal Jordan, and Batman and Superman were somehow able to like will the ring off his finger and then use it to combine into like a fusion form where they're able to fight. Everyone's talking about how great this is and how great that moment was. It looked sick. It was cool, but the explanation behind how they got the ring, I didn't buy it. And there was no real explanation of how the ring forced these two people to fuse. First off, I don't think the ring never went on either of their fingers. There was no real transition of like how they came together. It just happened. Big flash of light and it happened. That's not how these rings work. They don't fuse people together. They don't do that. I don't understand. I truly don't understand. There was no reasoning, no explanation, no understanding or gimmick that could make this like make sense. And I'm happy, it didn't last long. Whatever. I hope they do it again. It's cool, but I hope when they do it again, they give some explanation behind it somehow. It was very annoying to do something like that and have no understanding why, because it doesn't make sense. It's not possible. And like, I know this is like, oh, this is not like super canon. It's not like in any exact timeline. It's in the past, blah, blah, blah. But like, if you're telling me that like, this isn't a Black Label, this is like a mainline series. I know it's not set in current era, but like, alright, so if this is possible for the ring to be used to fuse two people together, why have we not used it since? Like, are you going to try to make it canon now? It gives this whole thing where all this shit has happened after this with all these Green Lantern events in the past. Nothing recent, really. I guess the battery dying recently was kind of a thing. But all these things that happen, you're not saying that this could have been a possibility. I don't like that. That's not cool. I don't like when you add things. Like, make it non-canon. Make sure you mention it's non-canon. But this is seemed canon. I don't know. I'm going to just deal with it. It was a pretty good book. It was a pretty good story. I'm still going to give it an 8 out of 10. It was solid. But that annoyed me. And then last issue is issue 93 cardstock cover of Nightwing, which is my favorite ongoing series. Best covers. Even the A covers, amazing. I love Dick Grayson here. I love Nightwing, which is the same person, but it equally balances out his two personalities, his superhero and his regular identity. And they're both trying to make Bloodhaven a better place. And you see the corruption in the police department and how they're trying to come after Nightwing, and then they're trying to, turn shit around on Dick Grayson, and through the greatness, which is Oracle, Dick Grayson's able to make them look stupid. I loved it. It was a fun issue. It was a well-paced issue. Everything was done really well. Beautifully drawn. Great dialogue. Great pacing. Great plot. Great everything. This is like the perfect. This is Tom Taylor at his finest. And Redondo was back on art on this issue. Amazing. This is a Campbell, and this is Jamal Campbell cover, who's been on this series with them for a really long time. I love it. It's an amazing series. This is I don't want to say 10, but 9.5. 9.5 out of 10. It's an amazing series. And that is everything. That is everything. And after 2 weeks of hiatus, the weekly roundup will be back this upcoming Tuesday. We are filming our episode later today, and that will be back on Tuesday. Please check it out. I really would appreciate it. It is on YouTube on Manny Reads Comics channel. You can also check out all my other can't breathe. All my other past comic reviews every week on the channel at The Vinyl Casket, along with trailer reactions that have been doing really well, album reactions, album reviews, movie reviews, show reviews, manga reviews, unboxings, hauls. I did a vinyl haul recently. All that stuff's up there. All this is really good content. I do most of my stuff live. I really try to do everything as real and like as me as possible. I don't like editing because like I'm talking to you guys. Watch me talk to you because I love you. With that being said, thank you guys so much. This is The Vinyl Casket. You can check out my YouTube at The Vinyl Casket where you subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the bell for tons and more lame content. We are the home to the lamest taste, and I want you to do me a favor and stay lame.